Welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how you can prepare an SPSS data file to be used for my Analyze My Survey with Excel file, which actually looks like this one. And on the info tab there's some information there. But in order to use all of this is an Excel file that can actually generate quite a lot of different tests on all your data in one go. A lot more information in a separate video on how to use this file, but it actually requires data and values, and with SPSS you can actually convert those relatively easily, and that's the focus for this video. So going back to the Analyze My Survey SPSS preparation file, you of course need to open an SPSS data file that you want to analyze, and then you need to click on the file, display data file information, and then working file. Go to the output, select the variable values, double click on the table, and then actually copy all the information in there. Go back here to the Excel file, go to this SPSS values, delete all information there if there's any, select cell A1 and paste the information, and then remove any missing values you actually had assigned, because my data doesn't do much with my data analysis doesn't do much with missing values. So to open up SPSS, which I've already done, I've already opened my data file. This was a survey among students with quite different variables. Yours might all be different, of course. So the first thing we're going to do was this file, and then go for display data file information of the working file. Now in the SPSS output you should get a nice overview of all your variables, but the one we want is the last table, so the variable values table. Double click on that, select everything except the column title, so the first variable name, scroll all the way down, then hold down the shift key, select the last cell, and then you can either say right click copy or just press Ctrl C. Then we go back to the Excel file, and then under SPSS values, as you can see mine is completely cleared already. Click on cell A1 and then go for paste, but do a paste special, only the values. Then, since I unfortunately had assigned missing values to something specific, I need to actually delete them for this example one by one. I'm using the control key to select multiple in one go. Right click and then delete, so everything nicely shifts up. I can do the same here. Control, 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 again delete, and let's scroll further down, and this one, and this one, and this one, these two, and these two, and these two. Sorry, this is taking a little bit longer than I want to. Perhaps I can speed it up with some video editing, but I've never actually used video editing, so bear with me for now. There we go, there. And although this is quite a long process, in the end, if everything works, it probably hopefully was all worth it. I assume you watched the other video on what the SPSS Analyze My Survey file actually does in Excel, which is quite useful in certain situations. And we keep on going. Ooh, we have a lot of variables. And go, and delete, and all of these. This one as well. Oh wait, these can be deleted. This can also be deleted, yes. Oh, lost these now. Whew. Oh well. The longer the video, the less hits on YouTube, but hopefully it actually, in the end, will be worth it. And then delete, and one more. Alright, so now I have actually copied all that information. So that is step 1. Basically, that's all this done. Then we need to go to the variable view in the same file, and then actually select the column name, type and measure. So I go back to my SPSS file. I can close this pivot table variable view, go back to the data file, make sure you actually click in the variable view, click on the name, click on the column, hold down the control key and then click on type, and keep on pressing the control key and also click on measure. Then simply press Ctrl C, or you can no, you can't right click, but you can say edit copy. Go back to Excel again, and now go to the SPSS variables. Make sure this one is completely empty, and again paste, and there's only one option. So we have all the variable names, we have their type, and we have their scale. Now remember though that for this all to work, your SPSS data should not have any string variables. Well, it can have string variables, but they will be removed. So if you've assigned, for example, with gender, I think I gender somewhere, I've used 1 and 2. If you used M for male and F for female, for example, it will actually remove the variable because it really wants everything to be numbers. So what you can do in those cases is actually use the transform and then automatic recode that will actually convert any string codes that you have into numeric ones. So that might be useful in those situations. Okay, so we've done that. Then on the info tab, we've done this part. And last but not least, we need to actually copy all the data. So we're going back here to the SPSS file, click on the data view, and then click on the first column, scroll all the way to the right, and click on the last one, shift and the last one there, and then right click and say copy with variable names. Now this might take a little while. It's also very important that you have your value labels turned off so that you actually see the numeric representations, because if it's turned on you actually see these, what they actually represent, and that won't work. So it needs to be shown as numbers. Go back to the Excel file and then we go for SPSS data. Again, this one is completely empty and I can simply say paste, and there's only one option, and now it actually copied everything in there. Now last but not least, it then needs to run a macro, and under the info tab I will actually add a button for that macro here. You can also go to developers and then macros, and then actually select the, I think it's the first macro. Oh no, it's prepare data, that's the one. Run, and then wait a little while, and now all your data is actually the way it should be. What it's done is it actually removed any of the variables under values. My last variable, comments for example, is now gone. Oh, sorry, that's in the data itself. Here you see there's no longer the comments because that was a string variable. It also removes constant, so if a variable has multiple options but only one was always chosen, it has actually been removed. And if there's an empty row, it will actually also remove that row. Now you can simply copy all the information on this sheet of the values, Ctrl C, then go to the Analyze My Survey Excel file, go to Data, and actually simply say paste. Sorry, my mistake. Click to Values, of course, and then paste. And the other one, the data, you copy to the data folder. So select everything, Control C, and in here under data, where I by accident just copied, so you can actually delete all of this, but you can also overwrite, because in this case there will be more. Now we're not done yet. The last thing is that unfortunately also for here we need to remove those missing values. I've used 99 and 98 consistently, so I can simply do Ctrl F and then go for replace, and then simply replace 99 by nothing, replace all, okay, and then 98 replace all, okay, and then I'm actually done. It removed any of the missing values. And now it should be okay to actually start running all the different types of tests. But as mentioned before, there's a separate video on that. Okay, I hope this was helpful.